And right now, it's not a meta where the junglers get a lot of resources, but Damwon just try it regardless, because if you look at that game, you get an R5, save it for that man in the jungle, and maybe that will be enough to carry over. And then, as you pointed out, alternatively, I don't think Damwon Kia is getting a Kalista Moon lane again either. That one is not going to be given over anymore.
Yeah, just ban Karthus Kalista. Seems good to me. Oh, okay, we're going to ban Ahri. Kind of making it interesting right from the get-go.
Yeah, the Karthus, I think you can save it to ban till the second rotation. I do think it's a pick that requires appropriate draft to work with, and there's a lot of junglers that you can't really do it into. Expect Damwon Kia to ban away the Wukong here as a third ban, I guess, because Zero Guts has
You
to be
can
taken
also
off.
just pick Kalista yourself because you have Ruler on your team. So
Yeah.
on the blue side, you have a lot more freedom. You don't necessarily have to ban the Kalista.
And this is the crazy thing about the meta right now. It's like we're talking about Kalista and we're talking about Karthus, but what about Yuumi and Zeri? Well, Kalista's getting banned. So is it another Zeri and then a Sivir handshake? As unfortunately, yeah, that's. I feel you there. Of course, both.
Chronicler's been there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was.
Mine wasn't that bad.
No, mine was. It was a rough time. But he was still able to play an incredible Ahri game.
Yeah.
So. All things considered,
that's Showmaker.
Hopefully he'll, hopefully he'll be feeling fine outside of that.
He was able to get the ban in at least.
Yeah, and the Yuumi is a no-brainer because we have seen the Sivir can work into the Zeri specifically if it does end up being a Zeri first pick, which I don't think is a given at all in the current state of the meta. But you can't give Zeri Yuumi. That combination, especially into Lehens, is just way too deadly. And you also can't pick it because he has Singed available, so it just feels like all around a very rough situation as Peanut gets the champion that he is by far the most comfortable. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. I don't think you need to ban the Karthus as Gen.G because if a Karthus gets picked up into a Poppy, then Peanut's probably dove bot lane twice by the time that you've gone to your second clear, and the game state will be completely different. So Damwon Kia, if they draft really strong lanes, might still revisit a farm-intensive jungler, but expect him to instead prioritize picking up a bot lane here. And despite it not working out for them previously, the high priority on the Lucian and the Nami is going to continue here. Expect again a Lucian with a pickup of the jungle here for Canyon. This way you give way less information to your opponents. Maybe get yourself an R3 counter pick. Alternatively, you can just lock in a jungler. Does mean, of course, that Zeri and Lulu probably are going to get picked up here by Gen.G.
There you go. And yeah, not too much of a surprise. Renata Glass going to be ignored this time around. Was banned in game 2.
Yeah.
Also ignored in game 1. But
yeah, makes a ton of sense.
Watch him just pick Trundle here into the Poppy. Once again, Canyon, he goes from Trundle to that game of Karthus back to Trundle.
No, I'm so on board with this. This is okay, not as exciting, because as I mentioned, I for Damwon, maybe returning to comfort, even though it's not the top of the meta, is what actually gets you in a good position. We've seen LCK teams are so reluctant to stray away, but some of the best results that we have seen, both domestically, Liv Sandbox comes to mind as well, and even internationally, are when we do stray away from what is known. Not going to be the case here, though. A lot of power in this lane with the Viego. With so many of the high-priority mid laners already banned away, I wonder if either team wants to pinch that further and then try and get a very non-interactive matchup. Fortunately, Corki has been removed from the game, so we won't be suffering from that, which is nice.
I mean, Zeri is in the game now.
Yeah, but she needs
large beam.
3 items, not 2, Valdez.
True.
It's something.
No Ornn, no Sejuani. Going to be the pick here.
And with this, Damwon Kia has the opportunity to just... It's not exciting, and I would love for Gen.G to ban it out. Just go R4 Gnar here.
Yeah.
You probably get...
It feels like.
Yeah, you probably get Gwen, which is not amazing, but not the end of the world. And it's going to be the Camille ban. Yeah, Gnar seems like a no-brainer, even though the pick has dropped in priority. I think this is a perfect opportunity for the pick where there's not a lot of the counters available. If Doran does end up picking up the Akali, you might be in trouble. And it's something that is definitely available. Of course, Akali we've mostly seen as a counter pick into the Gwen, but in Challengers, some teams have actually been picking it into the Gnar as well for the same reason, which is when you get Shuriken as mini Gnar, you just die. Gwen seems like the no-brainer here though for Gen.G, and then all comes down to what Choke wants to pick. Rise, yeah, makes a ton of sense. A lot of pressure, able to rotate the side lanes, and helps really, really well with the setup for both Peanut on his Poppy and later in the game also protect the ruler comp with that Zeri.
What is the pick here? Why is Doran smiling?
Like, what's happening here? It's not Akshan.
What's happening?
It's not Akshan.
Please, no. Okay, GP.
GP's good. GP's good.
GP's fine. And so it's going to be Doran 6-1 on Gangplank versus Nuggery's 8-1 Gnar. Someone's getting 2 losses tonight.
As Showmaker now, what is going to be the pick into the Rise? Rise into TF. We have seen many a time. It's a pick which into the Azir we are not a fan of, not even remotely, and a pick that, while in terms of matching the pressure in lane will be decent when it comes to the 2v2 and the early team fights, is very underwhelming. Really feels like an insurance policy for Damwon, where if nothing else really works out, then you at least have a Victor who can do big damage in team fights. But I'm liking the insurance policy of Crit Gangplank and Zeri a lot more.
Yeah.
So overall, for Damwon Kia, it feels like you need to find big leads in the early game. Be able to snowball either around Canyon or most likely Doc Dom and Bible, who after last game's performance, I'm sure are going to be feeling great.
One thing I will say about Damwon's comp is that they have an insane amount of mid to late game chip damage with the Victor and the Lucian culling, which we've seen. I mean, Ruler on the Lucian Nami himself in the last game was almost able to just single-handedly poke the enemy team out with his culling and the Nami, of course, and that actually looks a lot like Doran. Nicely done. But at the Victor on top of that, you're getting long-range lasers, you're getting a Chaos Storm thrown in there, and all of a sudden, you know, it's not like there's a Yuumi on the other team. It's not going to be a whole lot of sustain, maybe for the GP, but we'll have to wait and see, as that is probably like $45 US. She said she prepared the taxi fee.
Nice. Oh, well, yeah, if it's the second series and it's going to 3 games, gonna need that taxi Velda. Says, yeah, as you point out, I'm always going to be a fan of Zeri comps, but I do think a Gen.G comp can feel a little disjointed in the early stages of the game. Whereas for Damwon, that pressure point in the bot side is something that they can leverage to great extents if Canyon's able to get his pressure known in bot.
Well, guys, we are ready for game number 3. Just about ready to jump onto the Rift. Let's see if it's as epic as the last one. Let's do it.
I saw that. I don't know if it was Lahenzer, but it was a Yordle flexing an EDG logo. I don't know who it was. Oh, knowing that the observers always zoom in early on. Love it. Oh!
GG.
GG.
It's over.
It's done. Pack it up.
Congratulations to Gen.G for winning and going on to 15-1.
Oh, I was waiting for the joke to land.
It's over.
That's,
That's
we
it.
go home now?
Yeah.
Why are you all still watching? Guys,
Well, we do have this other game here.
well, do we?
We do.
Look at this XP lead.
We're going to play it out, you know. See what happens.
This is not how my solo queue game goes,
Double
Valdez.
first strike.
If someone has a lead, the game's done.
Yeah. Oh. Trying to fight this early. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, level 1 still, of course, quite strong here for the Zeri and the Nami, or Zeri and the Lulu, rather. We've seen that...
Zalulu.
Wow, that will be... I don't like that nickname for the bot lane. No, that's okay. We...
Zeralu.
Do you think that's better?
See, I'm trying, and you're just over here criticizing me.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm not being very nice. As unsurprisingly, the only winner is Ruler. I'm not being constructive, and I'm sorry, Valdez.
It's okay.
I will try to be better. I have a lot of pent-up stress from watching the previous game.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't lash out at you. I apologize.
No problem. It's all good.
I also don't have a better suggestion. I think the combination of nicknames is just not, it's not the way we need to go. We need to think of a different thematic.
Yeah, like Bullet Hell lane, right, with Lucian.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lelouch.
Yeah?
Wait, no.
No.
Lucian Yumi. That's what I was thinking of.
That's the bullet. Yeah, that's the bullet lane. As Nuggery, this is the Peanut special.
Yeah, this time it's in the top lane because the top lane is where it's at now for the early game. Let's see what Nuggery can do here. Buckler thrown in, nice flash.
Oh.
And look at this, Canyon's here. They're going to follow up for this one, not stunned into the wall. They don't quite have the damage. Peanut just going to flash away, but Doran takes a second hit, and this is a long lane. As the flash comes in, and he's burning, but he's also ticking up. One more Q could do it, but Peanut's here, as he will be the savior, and the Steadfast Presence is going to save his life, as the gank does not work, but at least they live for now.
You'll take it as Damonkia, but that was very close to disaster for Gen.G as Dokdam going in, aggressive trade, and yeah, once you get a couple of levels, this matchup becomes a whole lot less enjoyable, for the Lulu in particular, but that was so close. Nuggery not getting slammed into the wall, Canyon, even with the red buff burn, not enough. If only he had red smite, but he's still 3 smites away, so not getting that one anytime soon. And as a result, it will in fact be the, I think, slightly favorable trade, but both top laners clearly are like, yeah, none of this matters. We just both bought calls. And
that's the way it goes.
Yeah, it's going to kind of ignore it.
Jovi is going for a bit of a walk, although it was spotted with a back ping on top of Jovi. And so Nuggery's going to back away, but Ruler, if he has the Lulu with him, the Lahens, they can actually trade it back, but you can see that he was being a little bit more passive when he was alone. But I love that they are actually trying to fight this one with fire and not just get kind of pushed in and not actually be able to do much.
As taking a look at that topside play, just really nicely done. If Canyon is a split second earlier, it's even better. And crucially, this doesn't stun. Yeah, if that hits, I think you just trade favorably here as Gen.G and.
I got him, he said. I got him. It's like, oh, that. It's like, oh man, that sucks. Not quite able to extend into the kills.
It's Peanut doing a little bit of early invade. Look at this vision control on top side. Damonkia not really going to be able to get anything in return. And oh, it's level 6 for Rise.
Yep.
Textbook play coming through here. Nuggery does have level 6 available, crucially, and the wave is actually not in a good position at all. So I guess it was just a little bit of threat. But Doran is a freeze, so he doesn't really care about getting ganked. He just wants Nuggery to not get CS. That part going very well.
Yeah, just Nuggery throwing max range boomerangs to farm. It is a nice amount of respect. It's kind of what you have to do when Rise is missing, but also you don't have any vision control. He does have the one Tri-Brush ward, but Rise can avoid that, and so can the Poppy with Hex Flash or a Blast Plant. Lots of ways to get up into that top side.
Okay, now going for a lane gank here. Jungle not up at the moment. Might just be wanting to cover as, oh, here we go.
Ooh, landed straight into the arms of the Viego, but he just eats some oranges and walks it off. Not really too bothered by that one.
Everyone at home, reminder to eat your fruit as Dom.
Exhaust, pretty huge there. Will deny it. Bubble misses, and now Cannon Barrage is in as Dom looking to trade it back. Merely able to take a chunk out of Ruler, who does keep his heal. Very important in this lane.
Yeah, definitely a favorable trade here overall for Gen.G as they're able to hold onto their heal. Dom, nice cleanse in the exhaust there, but because of the Cannon Barrage, Bible forced to use his heal. And now it's going to be some free plates, and you got to start finding some pressure in this lane as Lucian Nami. As, again, we have seen in the past that some AD carries have been able to win this matchup, and by some, I mean one, and the one is Ruler. So the stats are not great, and the laning thus far has not been going great, and not the end of the world with how Lucian has kind of evolved as a champion overall, especially with this first strike build that we have seen. Because there's a couple of moments there where if you have PTA, then the lane might look completely different, but not going to be the case here. We're going to take the extra scaling into the mid to late stages of the game over the immediate laning pressure, and Hextech Drake at least picked up for Kia.
Yeah. Nice little bounce on the pressure. They're able to get on down there and take it. And this game feels a lot like game number 1, except even. Well, a little bit more even, I should say. Because Gen.G do have the lead, but at least Kia picked up the Drake, and the Rift Herald's still on the map, although the entire top side of the map has been all Gen.G the entire game. So let's see how Kia respond to this, though, as everybody seems to be rotating up, but a little bit hesitating, as maybe looking for some kills.
Sneaky.
As everybody in the entire audience goes quiet.
Hold the breath. Well, this has been a long day. You can't be funny like that.
We're going in! And the culling does some huge damage, but Canyon's not quite able to get on in there. Fast response from the bot lane of Gen.G.
Lance doesn't have his wild growth, doesn't need it, holds on to it, and overall, that is a Herald for Drake, a trade that generally is not super favorable to the Drake taker, especially with the playstyle that Gen.G have shown over recent times, where they take a small gold lead and do some aggressive investing, turning that into a big lead very, very soon. Keenan on his way now towards the bot side. Hasn't really found as much action as... yeah, 5th game in the LCK, and he is already...
just styling on Ruler and Lehens.
Yeah, being obnoxious as Nami. That's the dream. Peanut on his way.
Watch him die immediately. I don't think it's going to happen, though, because we do have Flash. Although that is a fantastic engage coming in from Lehens, as there's the knock-up, and I cursed him. First blood goes over to Peanut, and now Dom under the turret as well. As Ruler will pick up a kill for himself, not to mention some more plates.
UPN, and immediately what happens is Lehens flash Wild Groves, who says Lulu can't engage, and they spam this Silas downward thumb as you just get dove and boomed.
Oh, Gen.G fans are going to eat that one up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
they're going to think about that one for years to come.
As, unsurprisingly, this leads to a immense gold lead. As that dive being successful is a huge win for Gen.G, who get the double, then also get the first turret bot, and are now almost 3k gold up. It's game 1. All over again, Valdez.
Yes. This time Gen.G, they got blue side as well, so
yeah,
the wrath of Peanut Poppy comes out again. Not to mention the Lulu engage, which is very unexpected, so we can see this happen once again.
Very funny. As, yeah, Dom and Kellen don't seem to be too clued in on this one. They do take defensive positioning here, but again, Flash, Wild Grove, double knockup.
Yeah, also double glitter lance onto both of them.
Truly Lehens showing that even with Lulu, can get it done.
나미 너플.
Nami no flash.
보자 이거 보자.
Let's go.
보자.
Go, go, go.
와 전멸 커져라 개지렸다.
My flash wild growth was insane, and it was. He's patting himself on the back immediately. It's sweet.
Lahens was also spamming Griffin emote. I didn't even catch. There was too
Yeah.
much emoting going on, Valdez.
Everybody's emoting when you get that double kill in bot. Now, Doran has been left to the Wolves, but this just means that Ruler gets more plates, while your Lucian and Nami are splitting them.
Well, that part's fine, but why are Nuggery and Showmaker in the same lane? Yeah. Missed how that one took place, because now that's more plates to Ruler, which is generally a bad sign for any team facing them.
Yeah, he's going to be a very full Zeri, very fed in this one.
Eaten well. As Lahens truly showing that you can be a playmaker on any champion if you just believe enough. No matter what people might think of your choices for support champions.
Yeah, Lulu can do it.
Lulu is very
Used to see it in the mid lane a lot, you know, where you had like damaged junglers and you would just engage on the other mid laner and try to set up ganks and stuff.
And this Victor is definitely a Victor again, as has been the case in the past. And there is a reason why we have not been the biggest fan of this champion. Feels like a lot of our games are not decided, but definitely set up for in the early to mid stages of the game. The durability patch has made us have a lot more team fights. I think that part has been a rousing success, as we saw in even this series a lot. But when it comes to truly scaling mages, they really don't seem to be that great. Azir is kind of an exception because of the utility that he still provides, but I don't want to know what the Victor win rate is, but I know it's not feeling too hot. On the flip side, Damwon just got another Drake. On the downside, Gen.G is probably going to stack at the very least 3 Infernals, unless they make big mistakes.
It's also 10 plates to the side of Gen.G. Some of them picked up by Chovy, some of them, of course, the majority picked up by Ruler from the bot side to the top side. Showmaker's not concerned. He's just farming as many of the jungle camps away from Canyon as he can. So he's trying to farm it up. Maybe we'll see that plate graphic here just to get a confirmation. Some trading in the bottom side, but Peanut is not baited by it. He's just backing away. And there it is. 10 plates fully taken by Gen.G. Damwon did get, they did get 5 of them, although it looks like only 4 of them were actually taken. You know, the gold was actually
of course.
Secured for the player.
And overall, this early game for DWG has been somewhat of a disaster. There is still some mid-game team fighting power that normally you'd look for. The Victor doesn't really open that, but the rest of the comp definitely does. Nuggery on one-item spike can be really big early on. Same for Viego if he can get a couple of resets going. And even though Dogdum's not in the greatest of spots, just by the virtue of having his Gale Force and being Lucian in a Lucian Nami lane, he can burst you down very quickly. Unfortunately, while that is happening, or while rather Domokia is getting something done on the bot side, the cross-map trades are still very much in favor of Gen.G, and this feels very much akin to what we've had happen with T1 in spring, where they stomp game 1, then they're like, let's have some fun game 2, and then get put behind, and then can't claw their way back, and then game 3, all business again.
Yeah.
No fun allowed. No shenanigans, no taking of fights that we don't need to take. Just focus on fundamentals, focus on cross-map, focus on getting the objectives and the shove.
Yeah.
And they're at a 4K gold lead at 15 minutes ago.
And they didn't even have to ban Karthus.
No?
It's fine. They're like, no, you're not going to do it again. I dare you. And they certainly had some more options for this game if that were to come about. Even though Damwon did have red side and potential counter pick, we did see that be selected for the Victor. So I hope that the Victor gets some good value in this one. As you see, Bible is desperately trying to stop this from happening, but it's happening. The mid turret will also go down. That is 3 turrets now for the side of Gen.G. So the one of Damwon that Nuggery was able to pick up in the bottom lane.
It's not a good time, Veldas. Fortunately, Damwon has 2 first strikes, so just keep dragging the game out, and eventually that'll get you That'll get you gold.
Toby didn't go crown in this game.
No?
I've seen so many rises. It's kind of like you basically just go crown and then you go full damage, or, you know, Seraphs and stuff like this. But instead, he's actually just going full damage.
Which
the Ludens.
Yeah, Ludens and Soulclam Boots as well. Which, looking at Damon's comp, going for crown here is not it at all. So
I mean,
not too
you
surprising.
can deny a culling in the late game.
Yeah, but there's a laser.
Yes. Just dodge it for it.
It's guys, it's everyone at home. It's like it's 11:15.
No, it's
Feldus
actually a
and
good
I are-
suggestion.
Feldus
What do you
and I
mean?
are both Feldus. That's not your best material. I'm not on my best either. We gotta see it through.
What do you think about the crown for Showmaker?
I didn't
then?
want to hurt your feelings. You know, I'd hate for you to feel like I'm not appreciative of your jokes.
I think the crown for Showmaker is good.
I'm trying to connect with you, Valdez.
Because
Come
he has
on.
to deal with extendo beams, and that denies one.
No, I actually really like the crown for Showmaker, as I've completely given up on getting closer with my co-caster. I think the amount of reliable poke is relatively low, and if you do actually catch extendo beam or a late game gangplank barrel, you're feeling great. Yeah, a little bit of threat there, but not actually going to commit his Doc Dom. Only real downside is that if you do end up getting a proc as the Victor, the trade-off obviously is not going to be amazing. He is going Shadow Flame though, so at least we're not getting treated to Crown Morello's Lichbane Victor, which I've seen.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think I erased that one from my mind.
It's not a good time.
I don't remember that one.
No, that's good.
Weird.
That's good. As overall, if you can keep Doran in the side lane and you can 4v4 as Damwon Kia, you actually do have a lot of power here. Looks like instead they don't want to take the risk.
Cannon's like, wait, I was the one waiting for you. That's weird, as we do have a gank on the top side, but Lahens is here. Engage extraordinaire. Lulu is looking for some support for Doran, of course, as the tidal wave does come in. There's the shield and the wild growth, but the laser is what gets it done. And now Lahens is up here as well. Double kill for Showmaker, who's really stacking up the gold. And yes, the rest of the map is all in shambles. As you can see, Gen.G are getting some big value elsewhere. But that is a Fed Victor now.
Yeah, and that is going to accelerate. I think one of the best win conditions. Itemizing MR against Damwon Kia feels horrible right now because of how AD heavy their composition is. So getting these kills on Victor and getting him a topside turret as well, getting a couple more waves into him, is actually super impactful. And the gold lead still very much in favor of Gen.G. They pick up the Drake, they get a ton of damage down on that mid lane turret. But this collapse actually works out very well, and Lahens thinks 2v2, we can make this work. We can find a way to keep him alive. And then the moment that Bible shows up, Lahens, admirable of him to try and keep his carry safe. But not going to be the case. Canyon just making sure that this play is completely doomed for Gen.G. And as a result, kills going over the Showmaker. Now Shadow Flame done as well. This early on. Once you hit the free item spike as Victor, you're still going to have an incredible amount of damage. And as mentioned, it's still tough. I think the amount of damage that Zeri is going to output is still something that's going to be very hard for Damwon Kia to deal with. But at least in neutral, you'll have a counter-answer to possible Gangplank barrels.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to see if Showmaker can actually make this work. We all saw that he's not necessarily feeling too great playing from home, but he is playing fantastically, which is very nice to see. And if he could carry it with the Victor, a huge win condition for them, it would be kind of an insane story. But we'll have to wait and see. You know, put the brakes on that for now because, you know, still Gen.G 4,000 gold in the lead with the Fed Zeri. And Peanut, who's farming like a madman.
Yeah, you're still going to feel pretty good about it all. And as you pointed out in mid-game already, Canyon has been sacking CS over the Showmaker. So it truly is a return to the normal play style that we've seen the last while. And regardless, because I do think that Gen.G, like in a position like this, very rarely lose games. You got Chovy, who is monstrously fat as per usual. Gonna get this this inner as well, even further ballooning your gold lead. But Damwon Kia here today look a lot better than expected because they have been truly pretty lackluster over the last couple of matches. 0-4 against KT and Sandbox, which are their direct competitors. So the fact that this series has been competitive in the slightest, to me, is a huge win. And I'll take it, Valdez, as a free item.
Absolutely. I don't even think that Gen.G were playing poorly. I mean, they slipped up in the early game of Game 2, but the fact that Damwon came in like a shark on the hunt, just ready to chomp up that gold lead and do a lot with it, says a lot about where this team is and how they have prepared for this series.
Yeah.
I think it's really brave of them as well, by the way, to go back to Lucian Nami when they have got absolutely destroyed on this multiple times. They're 1-3 as a duo with Lucian Nami for a 4th place team in the LCK. Our Damwon, our Duck Dom, and Kellen/Bible. So the fact that they go for it in Game 3 against Gen.G, that takes some guts. I mean, I can imagine that maybe they don't have the most confidence in this at this moment.
Yeah, it's it might also tie into what we mentioned earlier. Well, even though we're not seeing the results in the actual games played, which even was the case with the Kalista at the start of the split, right? It really took us a couple of weeks to start really seeing what this champion was capable of. Maybe for Damwon in the scrims, they're blasting everyone with the Lucian Nami lanes, and just hasn't really transitioned to stage, and they're holding on to it. A lot of background information that, of course, we don't have in this situation, as Chovy going to probably just get a free turret here, and what Damwon Kia is getting is possible position on a maybe Drake, which is not the best of trades, because the guaranteed value is something that Gen.G I think is going to be particularly happy with. This is Soul Point though, so I would still expect to see Gen.G actually rotate over, and we do see Nuguri matching Chovy inside, both having the teleport available. Oh, Ruru is on free items at 23 minutes.
Yeah,
okay.
He already has IE.
Yeah.
271 CS, most in the game. Again, more than Chovy. Same as Game 1, Canyon is going to miss on the engage, but Peanut takes a huge chunk from Showmaker. Again, this guy's fed. He's kind of just got to do the majority of the damage carrying here. Duck Dom has some ability, but not quite like Showmaker.
That's the crown gone. Nicely done by Ruler.
Yep. It's definitely what you got to do before you start putting in that damage, is the shields as well from the Lulu. Going to be putting in a lot of work, as it might just come down to a smite fight here as Canyon, he's able to get it, and they disengage. So that is Soul Points for Infernal Soul here for DK. They're still kind of waiting around. They have a Mega Gnar, so they're considering it. They're not going to give up full control of this mid lane, at least.
And unfortunately for Gen.G, even with the Poppy, really nicely done by Canyon, staying in the fog there, making sure that he wasn't spotted. The rest of the team acts as a zoning tool, so Peanut can't actually knock him away with the Keeper's Verdict. Gets the smite, and even though they're up 5k gold, we saw that Gen.G in the previous game got back from a deficit that was way bigger. So I'm sure Damwon Kia is just clinging on to this one, because if Showmaker gets a Infernal Soul on this Victor, and the same for Duck Dom, I think a lot of the issues that I see with their composition and how it feels a little awkward at the later stage of the game is definitely going to go away, as again, Canyon not being spotted here means that he will actually be able to get himself, actually at the end there, gets it on the last second, Miss just keeping him safe for just long enough. And it's not been a good
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's not been a good summer of smites for Canyon. Think back to both the series against Cuz and against Croco, who largely got the better of him.
Just getting them here.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, here comes the train. Gen.G getting aggressive, but I do like how Damwon are sticking in it, especially with this Victor power as the game comes along.
Yeah, the downside, of course, is that when we talk about scaling, we have Zeri. Yeah. No, no. Jokes aside, we also have the crit Gangplank. Doran has just finished his Collector, is I think already sitting on a Lost Whisper, if I remember correctly. So it's going to be
going full damage.
Yeah, of course. No bruiser builds here, fortunately, and that is something that with the relative lack of hold up Canyon moving forward.
I feel like Canyon is a laser setup champion. Yeah. He's like I'm gonna land the stun, and then you guys like culling and laser him. And that's my job.
That's what I do.
And maybe I can clean up because I have Diego, but somebody's got to frontline, especially when it's Mininar. As goodbye, Ruler. Went a very long distance. Just taking a little vacation, perhaps. Damakia, at this moment, kind of just electing to go into the poke war. There is more sustain with the Nami, I suppose, as Doran takes a massive chunk, and where did his health bar go? Jeez. Chaos Storm nearly takes him out. He's lucky to be alive.
Really nice answer there as well. And yeah, Showmaker is definitely chunking people. Also the DPS, of course, Mininar actually quite high. Nicely done there by Damakia. But they're not actually getting anything, and they're still 6k gold behind. So all of this has been mainly to make sure that Gen.G didn't get the free setup, as Showmaker going to be able to pick up most of this wave. And wondering, with the Void Slot now finished, if he's going to go into Death Cap next, because when that item's finished, truly we're going to see who's going to have the most fun. Is it Rulo, who at that point I assume will have 4 items, or is it going to be the Victor as Gen.G? Yeah, I'm loving this. Force the response.
Yep. Make
Damakia do something because you have a massive gold lead. Want to turn that into a 1-5.
You can see the pokes coming out, even the extendo beam as well, but Damakia are trying to get in here, but Canyon is nowhere near. They just want to take the fight. On the backside of this, Tidal Wave not going to do too much, only catches Lahen's culling coming in. Gen.G trying to back into a better spot.
Round value.
Oh, and they're just being chased down here as you see Peanut's just going to send Ducked on flying. Canyon now on the run. And that's one way to disengage.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
Eat your opponent into the enemy jungle.
And most importantly, Gen.G get it at the perfect timing because they get the Baron recalls. And it's going to be very hard for Damakia to like rush a Drake here because Drake up in 40 seconds. More than enough time available here, especially with Chovy teleporting to mid for them to still take control of the Drake pit. So they're not even trading a Baron for a possible soul or even a setup. Damakia is just going to have to be like, okay, well, that's unfortunate. And now we sit in our base and wait. And as I say that, they move out. So they definitely are going to look. But getting Prio in mid when the enemy's Baron buff is an exercise in futility.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so they need a completely bonkers fight. Nuggery getting multiple people into the wall with Showmaker immediately laying his damage on top of it. Otherwise, it's not happening.
You're not getting frisky. But to be honest, I mean, this Mega Nar's coming a bit early. Nuggery is going to find not much value. You can see he's actually getting a lot of position, at least for the team. He's going to find Doran, but not able to land the wallop as him and Showmaker are just on a 2v1 cruise against the Gangplank, but they give up the Drake. So is it worth it? They want to try to take the fight on the backside. Big tidal wave value this time around as the Realm Warp, they get 3 of them out at least. Lahen's, poor Lahen's, is going to go down. But at the end of the day, Gen.G, they pick up another Drake.
Oh, tough one to see who that favors. Because the Drake picked up for Gen.G does provide him with a lot of value, but I think the longer this game goes on, the more Damakia is going to feel pretty decent about it, because the gold lead for Gen.G is going to mean less and less and becomes more about the execution in fights, and Doran thus far on the Gangplank has barely been able to do anything. This
is getting pretty tricky. I feel like Delmon are almost being baited into this, although Chovy, as we can see, is not very tanky. Doesn't look like the rest of Gen.G actually expected them to stay, so not going to amount to much. Chovy has to flash, which is not great for him.
At least has the spellbook available to get somewhat of a trade, but it's again the Mininar that is actually the real problem, as Doran gets flashed on, but able to stay alive for a little bit longer, but that combined with one immense laser from Showmaker is enough. And this was still a flip. If Canyon is a split second earlier on a Heartbreaker and steals that Drake, that is disaster. Yeah, they barely are unable. If they get Peanut here as well, like they're turning that into multiple turrets, possibly even an inhib. As Canyon walks in, sees Peanut, and runs out immediately.
Goodbye.
No.
Yeah, no, thank you. No. And now,
stabilizing.
Yeah, the Baron is not available. You see that Peanut is trying to get stuff down. Torellia's in to try to secure this turret, and it will. Poppycopter comes out, but not going to hit anyone this time, although we have had our fair share of entertaining keeper's verdicts in this one. And so now I think we're just going to wait for the next Baron.
Hey, there's also next Infernal Drake.
Yeah, but Baron comes first.
No, I know, but maybe we can do both. Yeah.
I'm down.
At the same time.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
As one needlessly large rod not done for Showmaker, Dom gonna get closer and closer to his Infinity Edge as well, and it's actually going to become a really interesting one, Valdez. I still feel like the overall scaling favors Gen.G, and they're, again, 6k gold up, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels like a very close game, and I think Gen.G are making a great call by actually respecting their opponents the way they're doing here. Because DWG has shown that they can at the very least match them at their level. It's still Ruler on Fedzeri, as we can see there. Extendo Beam not feeling very fun and interactive for DWG.
Yeah. Note the build here from Ruler did not have to go into the Lord Dominic's based on what he's going into. A lot of squishies, just has GA and QSS. So good luck killing Ruler with double summoners and double defensive items plus a Lulu.
Yeah.
See how that goes for you.
I don't think it does.
It doesn't go?
No. I think you stay home. And you're like, not today, World.
You see the Zeri outside, you're like, actually, no, I think I'll stay home tonight.
Yeah, calling sick, you know.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is one way to try to get it done. That's actually a huge amount of calling damage, so somebody brought their guns outside. I guess that's one way to handle it.
And the rain?
Yeah, that was just Dum, and he's only level 14, so not bad. That is nothing. But it was close to being something. The barrels nearly able to chain in there.
Yep, and we seeing the true bullet hell game being played here by DWG. Dodge all the barrels. Yeah, and the extendo beams, which that part's not going great. And don't let them get the Drake. DWG though, currently they should know that the Gen.G is over there.
Bit of a flankaroonie as we do have Bible getting chunked, and nobody's going to get hit by the Keeper's Verdict, though, and the wave was pulled, importantly. As Gen.G say, yeah, let's just take Baron. That's not the right spot.
And Damwon know that they're not actually doing it yet.
Okay.
Well, if Damwon can keep hold of mid here, if they can keep control.
Yeah, it's all about this mid-skirmish now, as Ruler takes a big chunk. Talking about his survivability, it's not looking so great, actually. Showmaker has to go into the stopwatch, but he does fight back a ton of damage here, but Peanut's got this engage onto him, and Showmaker gets caught out! Not able to escape the engage from Gen.G. And now I think as DWG, you just kind of have to give this one up, although it does not feel good. Ruler's going in, and now he's going out. They will take down their third Infernal.
Yeah, they're not going to let you. And this is the problem with these compositions, is that the zone control from Gen.G is so oppressive. Showmaker did so much damage there. I want to, when you check the replay, like just note how low the health bars are for Gen.G. But unfortunately, for DWG, they're not actually able to capitalize on it at all, right? Like this Chaos Storm combined with one laser. Like that's so much of the health gone, but then there is just too much threat. Like, Anya can't really walk up, he gets two-tapped. Nagari gets completely zoned over by Chovy, so he can't join as the frontliner. And they're also fighting in an open space, so it makes it very hard for Nod to find real value. And Baron not really available due to show. Oh,
here's
Zeri!
Ruler! Zeri's coming in! She hasn't quite had her moment in this game, so she wants to create one. That's going to be the end of Bible. As the rest of the Gen.G cavalry kind of coming in here with this Realm Warp, not going to commit to a push though, so they catch the Nami. And they're not going to find Canyon though, so with their insane Baron damage that they have, they could just rush it down. Certainly considering that at this moment in time. As Ruler, he's just going to do it alone with Peanut, it looks like.
Yeah, might as well. Don't have vision right now.
Warren's not really hitting these ones as they try to just assassinate a Lulu. Not really going to work out, but they do take out the crit gangplank, but now everybody is baited into the fight. Chovy just easily going to get that Zhonya's down. Dum though, still looking to kite this one out, as he still has an insane amount of damage, but this is Poppy, and this is Zeri. Ruler Still on the hunt here with Peanut leading the charge.
Can't actually walk up.
Peanut, yeah, he's just trying to frontline for the Zeri. That's what you got to do. He did the right thing. And that means that Ruler does take his 5th kill.
And overall, no objective gets taken.
We continue.
Yeah. Nothing really happening. Gen.G, of course, got the first Drake, so we're free and free again. And I think they can just take Baron now, which is very anticlimactic, and maybe they don't want to take the risk, but like, look at this topside control. Look at this warding, plus the damage you have available. Not afraid of this one at all. Just going to pick up the Baron here, and...
No smite, no problem.
You gotta warn me before this, Velvis. It's late. It's late. As you put so eloquently, if there is no Zeri moment, create your own. Be in control of your own destiny. Even with the extra movement speed and the flash being used, it's not enough for DWG. And then here we have another scenario where going hard on Lahens, but the exhaust combined with the fact that the actual damage isn't there yet makes Canyon look rather silly. And then we see the DPS that is available, but it isn't enough. There's a Lulu. Ruler throughout all of this is full health. That's how little he cares. Velvis, like the actual threat on this team is still completely full. Even still has foam plating up.
Yeah, he just doesn't get hit even once, which is kind of insane. Well, at least they have the Nami, who has healed, by the way. As, the push is coming in with the Baron buff, trying to take down this mid-turret. Not quite going to get there just yet. But it just feels like it will eventually happen. Yep, Ruler's just going to step up. He's level 18 now. Frontlining just a bit, having some fun. Hitting Canyon the screen away for 800. That's okay, nice little flank comes in. And Doran just, where did he go? The cotton candy's gone. It disappeared in the water. Down goes the gangplank. Poor Doran, man. He's not hitting barrels, 0 and 4. But he is critical to actually making this a late game juggernaut for Gen.G.
And there you see. Now DevCap is finished for Showmaker. And she's not messing around. Oh, that's a death brush. That's a death brush. 50 seconds till Drake.
Oh, they have vision.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
He's dead. He is so dead. No way for him to get out of this one as Chovy goes one way, Canyon goes the other. But that's all they needed to do. This should be, I mean, he's got teleport, but they can take down this Infernal Soul. Oh, Ruler! He's like, yeah, bring it on. I've got a shield bow. He goes forward. You gotta be kidding me, man. This Zeri at this point, full build going in. And he's going to line up a massive one straight into that back line. 3 of them go down. Make that a quadra as they pick up the ace, and Ruler has a true Zeri moment very late in the game, but it still counts. 12-7. Gen.G will eventually end this series with a win tonight. It's 2-1. They do drop a game once again to DWG, but it does not matter. A win is a win, and they will hold on to first.
And we learn